Greetings everyone. We are Group 7 and today we are going to walk you through our consultancy analysis and remediation plan for one of the most impactful data breaches in recent history, the 2017 Equifax breach. My name is Madhumita and I am joined by Monisha and Sushmita for this presentation. In 2017, Equifax, one of the largest credit reporting agencies, suffered a massive data breach. Personal information of around 147 million individuals was exposed, including social security number, birth dates, and addresses. The cause, a known vulnerability in Apache Struts, something that had a patch released but wasn't applied in time. Our team is recommending both short-term actions like patch management and long-term strategies including implementing a zero trust security model, enhancing threat detection systems, and enforcing policy reform to improve security culture. Now let's quickly go over the timeline to understand how the breach unfolded. On March 7, 2017, a vulnerability in Apache Struts was disclosed publicly. Equifax failed to patch it. By May 13, attackers exploited this flaw and accessed the system. Over the next 2 months, they quickly extracted data without being noticed. The breach was finally discovered on July 29th, and it wasn't until September 7th, a full 6 months after the patch was released, that the public was informed. This delay in both detection and disclosure made the situation even worse. Here's a breakdown of how the attackers pulled this off. First, they exploited the Apache Struts vulnerability to run malicious code on Equifax web server. Once inside, they deployed scripts to maintain access and moved laterally within the system. They then used the stolen credentials to get into the internal databases containing sensitive personal data. Finally, they exfiltered the data using encrypted outbound connections, which helped them avoid detection for weeks. Essentially, a combination of poor patch management and weak detection controls allowed the attackers to operate freely.
In this slide, we have mapped the attacker's behavior to several MITS attack techniques. The attackers began by exploiting a public-facing application, then used command-line scripts to move through the network. They accessed systems using valid credentials, which helped them stay undetected, and finally exfiltrated data through encrypted channels. These are well-known techniques within the MITS framework, and with proper monitoring and access control, many of them could have been prevented or detected much earlier. Next, we see the defensive failure analysis. Equifax experienced failures on multiple levels. Technically, they missed patching a known vulnerability that already had been disclosed. From a policy standpoint, there was no strong process in place to manage and track vulnerabilities. Their monitoring systems failed to alert and suspicious activity, and employees weren't trained to identify or escalate the threat. These gaps combined to allow the breach to occur and go unnoticed for weeks. Now, we see the business impact assessment. The breach had major consequences. Equifax had to pay over $700 million in legal fees, settlements, and recovery efforts. The company's reputation took a serious hit, with customer trust and brand credibility significantly damaged. Operationally, they had to redirect resources to manage the crisis, and regulatory bodies like the FTC launched investigation. The long-term impact was not just financial but also reputational and legal. Now, we are taking a look at the remediation roadmap overview. Our remediation plan focuses on short, mid, and long-term actions. In short-term actions, we recommend immediate patching, enforcing multi-factor authentication, and also practicing incident response. For midterm actions, we would suggest including stronger monitoring, employee training, and also network segmentation. For long-term actions, we want to shift the focus to zero trust architecture, a better policy enforcement, and also an active cybersecurity oversight at the leadership level. This phased approach strengthens both prevention and also response.
Immediate actions. To prevent incidents like the Equifax breach, our first priority is speeding up security patching. Delays in applying critical updates were a key vulnerability in that case. By implementing automated patch management tools, we can ensure timely updates across all systems with minimal manual oversight. Next, we recommend enforcing multi factor authentication, especially for administrative accounts and any form of remote access. This adds an essential layer of protection against credential theft. Finally, we advise running regular breach simulations. These exercises allow us to test our instant response playbook and refine it based on actual performance. So, we are always ready for the real thing. Midterm initiatives. In the midterm, we need to strengthen our detection and response capabilities. Upgrading to modern SIM and EDR tools will allow us to detect threats in real time and respond with speed and precision. We also propose network segmentation, which limits the impact of breaches by isolating sensitive data systems. This way, if one part of the network is compromised, it doesn't provide attackers with full access. Another key initiative is to invest in employee training. Frequent phishing simulations and security awareness sessions will empower staff to recognize threats and act appropriately. And importantly, training should include metrics so we can track progress over time. Long term strategy. Long term, we recommend moving toward a zero trust architecture. This approach assumes that no user or device inside or outside the network should be trusted automatically. Instead, every access request is verified. We also need to align our security practices with global standards like NIST and ISO 27001. These frameworks provide a structured approach to managing risks and ensuring compliance. But policies aren't set and forget. They need to be living documents, updated regularly based on evolving threats. Finally, we propose establishing a cybersecurity oversight committee at the board level. This ensures that cybersecurity isn't just an IT issue, but a strategic priority with executive accountability. Budget overview. Our estimated budget for these initiatives is 360,000 Canadian dollars. This figure includes costs for automated patching tools, SIM and EDR upgrades, employee training programs, zero trust implementation, and annual third party security audits. Now, this might sound like a significant investment, but consider the alternative. Equifax incurred over $700 million in costs due to its breach, not to mention lasting reputational damage. By comparison, our proposed budget is a proactive investment that strengthens our defenses and significantly reduces risk exposure, offering a high return on investment in the long run. Key performance indicators. To ensure our security initiatives are effective, we'll track key performance indicators or KPIs. These help us measure success and adjust as needed. For example, we'll monitor patch complaints to ensure vulnerabilities are addressed quickly. Time to detect and respond is another critical metric. Ideally, we want to identify threats within minutes, not days. We will also track phishing resilience, gauging how well staff perform in simulated attacks. Finally, audit success rates, both internal and external, will show how well we are meeting security standards. These KPIs provide transparency for executives and guide our security teams towards continuous improvements. The Equifax breach exposed critical failures across people, processes, and technology, showing how weakness in any area can lead to devastating consequences. Our proposed strategy follows a phase approach, starting with immediate containment actions, moving into cultural and technological improvements in the midterm, and culminating in long term strategic reforms that embed security into the organization's DNA. By emphasizing zero trust principles, robust policies aligned with industry standards, and continuous monitoring, we help organizations like Equifax rebuild trust with their customers and stakeholders while preventing future breaches. In short, This roadmap doesn't just fix gaps, it transforms cybersecurity into a strategic strength. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen. We hope you found the presentation insightful and engaging.